New study reveals generative AI boosts job growth and productivity. Average percent of a firm's patents that are of a given AI type. Interesting. AI innovation activity by large and small firms. Now we have, okay, I'm trying to think of a good way to, okay, essentially we have gone over, this is kind of a tangential but somewhat related. I believe it was yesterday or the day before. We went over some studies that have confirmed that the amount of AI generated scientific slop has gone through the roof. Not only that, but we have gone over a replication crisis in terms of software engineering studies, by which only anywhere between a quarter to a half of studies done between 2013 and 2023 could actually be replicated. You put all those two things together and you have a recipe for massive disaster in the scientific and programming community in general, generally speaking. Now, this study went over patent data to see how patents apparently were related to the displacement of jobs and growth. And what they found is not exactly what the title of this article says. So in some cases, depending on the use of AI within a company, there was an increase in jobs and productivity. So things like language. Can anybody think why language would be good? Large language models, obviously. Learning, creativity, engagement, decision-making, etc. were shown to augment human workers, leading to more hiring, greater productivity, and higher firm value. Occupations that tend to be augmented by AI are most white-collar occupations like finance, management, and science and engineering, as well as occupations in art, design, and entertainment. The study also found that when AI can displace workers, it cut costs, but doesn't increase productivity. Now, this article, okay, the reason why I'm bringing up this article is because at first I thought this is kind of like interesting data, but then the wording starts to get a little weird, right? It's a little strange because you have a title that says generative AI boosts job growth and productivity. And then you go down here and it's like, yeah, it increases more. It's higher, greater productivity, higher firm value. And then you get to this. When AI can displace workers, it cut costs, but it doesn't increase productivity. In contrast, AI used for perception and motor control tasks like image and speech recognition tends to replace human labor, particularly in routine or repetitive roles. While this reduces labor costs to a firm, it does not significantly improve firm productivity. The type of occupations that are being displaced by AI are manual labor jobs like farming, fishing, healthcare support, and building and grounds cleaning maintenance. Now, I have a suspicion that this article was actually made by AI. Pretty sure. Because there is some wording in here that doesn't add up to me. And I think what happened is that these guys took a bunch of studies, or maybe just one study with a bunch of data, and shoved it through an LLM, and then they generated this article. Now, on a more neutral note, what I will say is that I have indeed covered actual studies, at least one, that have shown that AI can neutrally create jobs that it displaces, but it negatively it doesn't create an increase in productivity, which means that for the billions of dollars that we're putting into AI, we're not getting productivity gains. We're putting somewhere to the tune of at least $8 billion in data centers alone, and we're getting barely junior level code in Studio Ghibli and now stupid videos. And the productivity isn't increasing, even though maybe at times the number of jobs ends up being neutralized. So it's kind of, negative/neutral, right? However, this article, even though it touches on that, I really do have a feeling that it's AI generated. The study underscores the urgent need for reskilling programs and labor policies that help workers transition into AI-augmented roles. It also provides critical guidance for business leaders and policymakers navigating the AI revolution. What does that sound like to you? If it cut costs but productivity stays the same, that's an argument for replacing people with AI. No, it seems sus. That's if it does that. That's if it does that. And it doesn't always do that. That's the best case scenario. And this is exactly the kind of terminology that you would expect to hear from people who want to profit off of systems that they know don't work. So what they do is they send you to get reskilled, right? They don't have to be reskilled. You pay for the education, they make the money, and then you just continue to operate within their paradigm. I don't have the article prepared because I haven't pre-read it, which means that I haven't looked up all the sources and all the information, so I can't present it to you guys because I do my best to look it up. But what this means is that my job has become a lot harder. The job that I have accepted for myself, I don't get paid for it. I don't ask for money. I appreciate all the support and everything I do, but I do this because I really freaking care. And this makes my job harder because I have to read an article like this and I have to pre-read it. And then I have to go and make sure that this article is not written by AI and I'm actually not convinced. And here is the biggest thing that I think this points to. AI will ingest this article. Because we have covered already how already in 2024, 51% of internet traffic is bots. The dead internet theory is officially true. It's no longer a theory. It is now truthful fact. And most of that bot activity is LLMs scraping the entirety of the internet, DDoSing websites, and multiplying web traffic by magnitudes of order. An LLM is going to ingest this slop AI, most likely written drivel, and re-ingest it into itself and have all of this weird, confusing statements now part of its new training data. I think, just so you know, you are now watching. The streamer before you, sent by the tech gods, is opening the door to you watching the enshittification of AI before your very eyes. It is happening.